when it comes to getting customers, getting leads online for a local service business, Google is the main playing field. Google is like Main Street. And these days, Google's made up of four different sections. The first section is called Google Local Service Ads. Some people call it Google Guaranteed because you see this little guaranteed badge. And these two companies right here went through a process to get approved, and they will pay Google anytime someone clicks on this call button or books an appointment with them. And so this is one of Google's means of advertising, and you pay per lead. The second section of Google is Google Ads. And Google Ads is the same old Google AdWords, the same old pay-per-click advertising that's Google's been offering for a couple decades. And if I click on this ad, this company will pay for that click. So the first two sections are Google's paid ways to show up. The top one, local service ads, you pay per lead. Google Ads, you pay per click. The next and third section is called Google Maps. Once in a while, you'll see a Google ad slide in there, and you can see that by the sponsored tag right there. But normally, you'll see three companies show up here. And these companies show up here organically. We use the term organic to say that Google chose these companies to show because they thought that they were the best search results to show me. So these companies aren't paying to be here. Google has decided that they're the best options to show me. And so that's what I'm seeing. The fourth section we call Google Organic. So this is what Google looked like 20 years ago before they added all these other sections. And this is just a list of websites. So those four sections again are local service ads, Google Ads, Google Maps, and Google Organic. So when we approach marketing for a local service company, we always start by making sure that they are taking advantage of Google Maps, because people who find you through this method will typically be the best leads. And the reason is because there's a large percentage of people who skip ads. I think it's around 50% of people will just skip over ads. I'm one of those people. I've been using the internet a long time. I don't want to see advertisements. I want to find my own thing. And so I skip the ads and I'll go down to Google Maps and I'll read some reviews of this company. And if they sound good, I might go to their website, check them out, see if they seem professional, trustworthy, etc. And then if I decide that they passed my due diligence, then I will give them a call. So I've already done my due diligence. And by the time I call this company, I've already decided that they are worth at least looking into. And so for that reason, leads that come through Google Maps are typically very warm compared to leads that come through something like local service ads. A lead that comes through local service ads, they'll come here, they'll click on your listing, they'll read some reviews, but they don't have the option to go to your website. Their only option is to contact you, and you pay when that company contacts you. So these type of ads are especially effective for services like plumbing, because you don't need to know everything about your plumber. You can read some reviews, see they have a good rating, see they have pictures, see that they're Google guaranteed, and you're probably okay to call them to unclog your sink drain, replace your water heater, something like that. But if you are looking for somebody to build an addition on your home, a project that might cost you over $100,000, you're going to want to do a lot more due diligence than reading a few reviews. So for remodeling companies, advertising like this doesn't typically work as well. People will want to do more homework. And so they'll want to go to your Google listing, read your reviews, and then they'll want to go to your website, learn about who you are, and vet you against your competition before they ever contact you. And I've had people at my own remodeling company call me and say, we've been comparing you with two other contractors for a year, and we decided to call you because we liked your website the best. And so I know, because I've talked to my own customers, that in higher trust situations, people want to do more due diligence. And so they're going to want to go through avenues that allow them to do that. So if you are a local service business and you want to take advantage of Google, the absolute best you can do is to be in all four of these places. You can have your listing here in the local service ads. You can be paying per click by running Google ads. You can have your business showing up as one of these top three in Google Maps, and you can have your website listed down here. if you're in all four of those spots, you are giving yourself the absolute best chance to be seen and be selected by somebody. And if you are not in all four of those spots, or if you're not in any of those spots, then the sequence you go after this is as follows. You start with Google Maps. The way that you get seen here on Google Maps is to properly configure your Google listing and to have a website that adequately covers all of your services and makes it extremely clear to Google what you do, who you do it for, and that you're trustworthy. And your Google listing, your website, and all of the other mentions of you on the internet are what determine how well you show up here on Google Maps. And the most important aspect is proximity. So the closer somebody is to you, the more likely that you are to show up for them. So if you're in a highly populated area, you're going to have a little bubble around you where your Google listing will show. If somebody is on the other side of Manhattan from you, then they will never see you on Google Maps. It's only going to be seen by people close to home. And we start this way because these will be the most cost-effective leads. They'll be some of the warmest leads, and they'll all be close to your location. So you're not going to have to drive across town every time somebody calls you. You'll get those leads close to home. Once you are taking advantage of that and you're getting leads through Google Maps, that's when we will look into local service ads, because hopefully by then you've managed to collect a good amount of reviews on your Google listing. And now when you start to buy leads through local service ads, you'll be able to compete on the number of reviews. Because I can tell you, if you're a plumber and you're showing up next to these companies that have 300 or 4,000 reviews, and you're not going to get very many phone calls. So in order for local service ads to be effective, you're going to need to have a good amount of reviews, at least enough to be competitive and seem trustworthy. For most companies, that's more than 30. If you have more than 30 good reviews, people see that and they assume that you're doing a pretty good job out there. So the downside of local service ads is if you might not get as many calls as you want, but the upside is you only pay when you get a call. So if you don't get a lot of calls, you don't pay a lot of money. If you don't get any calls, you don't pay any money. But that is the first type of advertising that I would recommend doing for any local service company. Once you are running local service ads, you're buying some calls, you're getting an idea of how much it costs you to get a lead. That's when I would recommend going into Google ads and starting to pay per click. Because when you're paying per click, it's possible to buy 1,000 clicks and get no leads. And 1,000 clicks can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So you don't want to do that. If you have an idea of how much a lead costs from local service ads, that gives you a target to shoot for with Google ads. And so it might take you 10 clicks to get one lead, but as long as your cost per lead ends up being similar to local service ads, then you know that you're doing a pretty good job, because I'm pretty sure that Google prices their local service ads based off of their average cost per lead through Google ads. As far as being an organic search goes, that happens naturally when you aim for getting seen in the Google Maps. Beyond that, once you're established, it's possible to get more targeted and show up here for different search categories or different locations through search engine optimization. But I wouldn't worry too much about that until you're already taking advantage of these other three sections of Google, because not a lot of people make it all the way down here and start clicking on websites. Most of them will stop by the time they get to Google Maps. So the four sections one more time: local service ads, Google Maps, Google Organic. And the sequence that you want to go for these is first go for Google Maps, and then local service ads, and then Google ads, and then the organic search.